I always trained just as hard as the guys. I was trained the exact same way. There was nothing they did that I couldn't do.
What you want, what you want. Come on. What you want. Come on.
I've always loved watching wrestling. I was always a big fan. And I found a school in Ireland that was doing training, so I met the owner of it and he brought me down to run the ropes, take a few bumps, and I instantly fell in love and I decided I was going to keep coming back. And ever since, that was about 4 years ago, I've been training every week since. At the beginning it was very, she's a girl, but as time went on it literally just meshed into one and they forgot that I was even a girl and I was just another trainee, to the point that I started doing my matches and it was forgotten that I was a girl. I was just in there, and it's now not considered like that at all. I don't think. There's more females in it now, which is great. And yes, there is more men, but I think the women are really showing that there is absolutely nothing that the men are doing that the women aren't doing just as good. Total Divas has really risen the popularity of female wrestling, I think, because people that aren't necessarily wrestling fans are liking Total Divas, so now that they tune in to watch WWE to see their divas, so now that they realise that the divas are actually a huge aspect, and even on the type of shows that we're doing, I think that women are a huge necessity on a show, because otherwise, if they're not well known, if you don't know the wrestlers and you're just coming to see a show, as far as you're concerned, it's just man after man after man. Every match can start to look the same. Whereas if you have, you have a few men matches on, then a woman comes out, instantly it's something different, and then it divides up the show. So then the person that comes after the women are seen new again. It's a man again, but it's not meshing into the match you've seen before. It's something different because the women's match is providing something different. I prefer working with the men because I train with the guys, so I've been trained very similar to them, and I love wrestling women. I've had some of my greatest matches. I've wrestled every woman in the country, and I've had some of my greatest matches with Katie Harvey, as much as I hate her. Siren's good, and the Owens twins. Alex Breslin would be another one that I would definitely put down as my favourite opponent, but sometimes, there's not many women, and I'm very active in wrestling, so I've taken on some of the best guys too, and I've beaten them as well. Carl Bryan is one I've taken down a few times, and I intend to again. The fabulous Nikki, love him or hate him, like kicking his ass, and many more. Sammy D, Be Cool. Loads. I've been in tag matches. I've faced the Omen in certain ones as well, in like battle royales, and I have to say that I really feel like I can measure up to the guys. You have strength barriers, you have everything like that. I generally feel like I can do a lot with guys because I'm more comfortably trained that way. So I feel like maybe because the guys I've wrestled have been trained similar to me, that I don't know, but I do feel very confident in there with guys. I feel like I can push it to the limit and do the best, that I feel like I can have the type of matches I really like to have and I really want to be having. Well, main stage is my home. It's where I started out. I was the only girl, and there was no other girls. They still decided she's ready to be on shows, we're going to put her in there, and they started putting me with men when necessarily sometimes promoters aren't really fond of that because they're not sure how the audience might react, but they knew I was working hard, so they put me in there, and they've always got a spot for me, and they've helped me. I train there every week. They've helped me grow to the point of being able to go abroad to work every week for other promotions, and if it wasn't for MSW, I wouldn't be as lucky as I am to say that I've wrestled nearly every weekend this summer, to say that I have gone to multiple countries, and I'm going to even more, and I'm accomplishing all my goals that I've set for myself this year because of Mainstage. It all stems from Mainstage, and not only that, they are my brothers. Every single one of them guys down there is like a brother to me, and they pick on me, but we get on so well, and we have so much fun. Road trips, everything that we're doing together is just, we're a really, really close family at this point. It can be hard at times, especially the fact that you're a girl can make it really hard sometimes, but if you push through, I swear the outcome, the feeling you get when you're in the ring, and then when you've had your debut or when you're in there, and you're in the locker room even, you can have so much fun. And yeah, like you have to be thick-skinned, you have to be ready to go through a lot to stick at it, but do, because generally you might find yourself in a better position than when you started. So I definitely say to any girl that was thinking about it, just try it. If you have the passion, it's there. If you don't, you don't. But definitely don't leave yourself wondering whether you want to do it or not. Every promotion in Ireland now has a very different style and theme to them almost, that and you kind of cater towards each different one that you're going to work for, where there's the very family friendly ones, and then we have the ones that you can do a bit more in, that you wouldn't have to necessarily pander to the crowd as much. I think, which I think is great. I think every promotion should have their own tone and decide what they want to do and let them do it. And that gives the workers free enough range to work within their limits. So I think from working, I've worked for nearly every promotion in Ireland, and I've learned something from each one of the places and from each of the lads that I've met and have done shows with. I think it's the vastness of it is definitely beneficial. I really liked my first match with Katie Harvey. I think that was a really competitive one. I feel like we really kind of played it up. I really enjoyed that one. And I liked a few of my ones with Casey Owens as well. They've been really good, and I'm looking forward to tonight and the next few days to see what the boys can throw at me. The dream for everyone, of course, is making it big, making a living. But realistically and ideally, I'm very happy with my situation in wrestling right now. I'm very happy I have the opportunity to go abroad and see what the rest of the world's wrestling scene is like. I've got a lot of different countries that I wouldn't usually get to go visit otherwise, so I get to do that. And then honestly, having so much fun doing what I'm doing in Ireland right now. It's so active. There's so much happening, and I'm lucky enough to say I'm wrestling nearly every weekend with some of my best friends. So right now I'd have to say is a peak, and I couldn't be happier. And if I was to stay in this sort of deal now for the next few years, I'd be more than happy to stay put, and I don't know if I could be as happy anywhere else.
I used to own a wrestling company called the American Wrestling Rampage. I mean, at its height, we were doing 5,000 people in Paris. You know, I mean, we got to work with some of the biggest names, from like Bret Hart to Rob Van Dam to, you know, Sid and stuff like that, like Booker T, Scott Steiner we had on tour.